Hey there, and welcome. Today, we're going to build your essential Turkish starter pack. Let's forget all the complex grammar for a minute. We're jumping straight into the core words you need to understand and start forming ideas in Turkish, like right now.
So, are you ready for a little challenge? In the next 5 minutes, we're going to give you a solid foundation you can actually use immediately. It's going to be fun, it's going to be fast, and it's the perfect way to kickstart your journey.
I want you to think of this as us handing you your first set of tools. Every single word is a new instrument you can use to build meaning. So we're not just memorizing a boring list here, we're actually assembling a language toolkit.
Okay, first things first. Any language at its heart is about people. So that's where we're going to start. We're going to cover the who of any conversation, the pronouns, and the basic words for the people in your world.
All right, this is your core lineup, the absolute essentials. Let's run through them. For I, you say ben. One more time, that's ben. For you, when you're talking to one person, it's sen. Sen. For he, she, or it, and this is simple, it's just o. O. Now for the group stuff. We is biz. Biz. You, but for a group of people or when you're being formal, is siz. Siz. And finally, they is onlar. Onlar. Seriously, these are the building blocks for just about any sentence. Let's get to our first noun. The word for man in Turkish is adam. It kind of sounds a little familiar, doesn't it? Let's say that again. Adam. And for woman, the word is kadın. Now listen closely to that sound. It's not quite an it's more like the sound in the word syrup. So it's kadın. Let's try it. Kadın. And here is a word you are definitely going to want to know. Friend. In Turkish, it's arkadaş. Yeah, it's a little longer, but trust me, you'll be using it all the time. Arkadaş. All right, so we have our people. But what do? Now we're going to dive into the action words, verbs. These are the words that give our sentences life and, a little bit of movement. And here's a really cool thing about Turkish. The language loves to build on itself. It adds little pieces onto the ends of words to change their meaning. So getting these core verbs down is absolutely key.
Let's start with a super fundamental action, to go. This is gitmek. Make sure that the G is a hard sound, just like in go, gitmek.
And what's the opposite of going? Well, coming, of course. To come is gelmek. See how they have a similar ending? Gitmek, gelmek. That helps it stick, right? Gelmek. How about a key sensory verb? To see. That's görmek. That sound is a bit like the in burn. Let's try it. Görmek. Now this one is so crucial for saying what you need or what you'd like. To want is istemek. Let's hear that again. İstemek. And finally, an action we all do every single day. To eat is yemek. Yep, you heard that right, yemek. Okay, so we've got people and we've got actions. But how do we describe everything? It's time to add some color, some detail with the next layer of our toolkit, adjectives. These are the words that are really going to paint the picture for us. Let's start with the most basic pair you can imagine. Good is iyi. İyi. And its opposite, bad, is kötü. Kötü. Next up, let's talk about size. Big is büyük. Say it again with me. Büyük. And small is küçük. Küçük. What about temperature? Hot is sıcak. Sıcak. And cold is soğuk. You hear that soft gus sound at the end there? Soğuk. And let's get a little personal with some feelings. Happy is mutlu. It's just a nice sounding word, isn't it? Mutlu. And on the other side, sad is üzgün. Üzgün. Okay, look at this. We have nouns, verbs, and adjectives. We've got all the bricks, but the real magic happens when you start putting them together. This last section is all about the glue, the little connection words that turn single words into actual ideas. Here are 4 powerhouse connectors. And is super simple. It's just ve. But is ama. Or is veya, and because is çünkü. Just knowing these 4 words will totally expand what you're able to say. And this is where it all clicks. Watch this. We take big, büyük. We grab our connector and, ve, and we add good, iyi. All of a sudden you have a complete thought. Büyük ve iyi. Big and good. You see that? You're already combining concepts. So let's just pause and appreciate what you've just done. In just a few minutes, you have added 26 new words.
That's 26 brand new tools to your Turkish language toolkit. Bring in some other key people into our story. A man is Adam, Adam. A woman is kadın, kadın. A child is çocuk, çocuk. This one's super important. Friend is arkadaş, arkadaş. And for family, mother is anne, anne, and father is baba, baba. And just like that, you've basically got the main cast for any story you want to tell.
Okay, so remember how I told you to keep that word O in your back pocket? Well, this is why. It is such a great example of how clever and efficient Turkish can be. Not only does O mean he, she, and it also means that when you're pointing at something farther away. A single letter, 4 different meanings. Talk about a massive win for a language learner, right? So, we have our people. We have our characters. Now, it's time to make them actually do something. Let's add the action blocks, the verbs.
These are the engines that make your sentences go. To be is olmak. Olmak. To do or to make is yapmak. Yapmak. Now here's a great pair. To go is gitmek. Gitmek. And its opposite, to come, is gelmek. Gelmek. To want something is istemek. Istemek. To see is görmek. Görmek. And finally, a couple you'll use every single day. To eat is yemek. Yemek. And to drink is içmek. İçmek.
You know, nouns and verbs are the skeleton, but things get way more interesting when we add some description. Let's bring our world to life with a little color and feeling. These are our adjective blocks. And here's a pro tip. The best way to learn them is by pairing up the opposites.
Let's start with the absolute basics. Good is e. E. And its opposite, bad, is kötü. Kötü. See how that works? Learning them as a pair helps lock them both into your memory. Next up, let's talk size. Big is büyük, büyük, and small is küçük, küçük. You know, really pay attention to those vowel sounds. Getting them right is a huge step towards sounding more natural in Turkish. All right, let's keep this rhythm going. New is yeni, yeni, and old is eski, eski. So simple, but so useful. Now, this pair you are going to use all the time, whether you're ordering a tea or just talking about the weather. Hot is sıcak, sıcak, and cold is soğuk, soğuk. And let's wrap this up with some feelings. Happy is mutlu, mutlu, and sad is üzgün, üzgün. I mean, think about it. With just those few pairs, you can suddenly describe a huge range of things and emotions. So far, we've got this big pile of individual word blocks. They're great, but they're just sitting there. Now we need the glue. These next few words are our connector blocks, and they're what let us start linking our thoughts together to build real, actual ideas. Think of it like a simple 4-step recipe for building sentences. Step 1, combine ideas with ve. That's ve, which means and. Step 2, show a little contrast with ama, ama, which means but. Step 3, you can explain the reason why with çünkü, çünkü, because. And finally, step 4, you can set up a condition with eğer, eğer for if. These 4 words are basically the logical heart of everything you'll want to say. All right, we are on the home stretch. This is our final set of building blocks, and these are all about anchoring your ideas in the real world. These words are what give your sentences a specific time and place, which makes them really practical. Let's just fly through these last essential words. Today is bugün, bugün. Tomorrow is yarın, yarın. A couple of really important places. Home is ev, ev, and school is okul, okul. And lastly, 2 things we all need. Water is su, su, and money is para, para. And here it is. This is the payoff. Look at what you can already do. You don't even need all the complicated grammar yet. You can just put the blocks together. For instance, ben ve arkadaş bugün ev. Me and friend today home. Now, is that a perfect sentence? Nope. But is it perfectly understandable? Absolutely. You just communicated a complete thought in Turkish. That's amazing.
So there you have it. In just a handful of minutes, you've learned your first 50 or so Turkish words. You have the blocks for people, actions, descriptions, and connections. You have the entire foundation. So the only question left is, what are you going to build with them? What's the first thing you want to say?